like Myles Garrett. Curious though, game planning to neutralize Garrett as much as you possibly can. How many position coaches, what was the process like last week to put together a game plan that set your guys up for success and not put them in his crosshairs, so to speak?
Yeah, it's look, it's we know it's a matchup league, right? And you obviously always got to start with your guys first, and figuring out not just necessarily as you always game plan like what the strengths and weaknesses of the opposing team, but how that can coincide with your strengths. And look, we have an incredible staff that opinions, thoughts. There's if anything, it sparks ideas, man, and they do such a great job. And fortunately, we have the type of talent on the offense that we can do a bunch of different things with it. And a player of that caliber, like, we couldn't allow him to wreck the game, And we knew, like, I know they gave him a half a sack, on that play, but we knew he wasn't going to get a sack yesterday, and the mindset that the guys had, and I was pleased with how they, look, he's the best in the game for a reason. You're thinking about him every play and whatnot, but our guys didn't blink, and I thought they did a really good job with it.
Dion in particular, I think you got him 48 of 49 snaps or something like that. Just what can you say about Dion's performance going up against Garrett?
Yeah, it was an interesting week for Dion, right? He wasn't there Wednesday, Thursday, not, sick, and but. He's a professional. He's been doing this for a long time, and he knew what he needed to do. And everybody always rises to going against the best. And Dion was, he did a great job yesterday. I thought the communication with all of our guys and all the different situations that we put them in. And, there were some jam situations. I thought the guys did a great job with it. But I thought Dion was outstanding yesterday.
He embraces that. He wants to go up against the best guys in the league. What does that say about him just, wanting that?
Yeah, I think, in this league, everybody's, they all have that want to be the best. They're very prideful in a very good way. It's what makes them them. And, I think when you have opportunities to go against the best and you get an opportunity to showcase your skill set against the best, I think it's always there's always something to it. You like to think that the guys on our football team aren't picking and choosing when they want to be that. The standard is the standard, but there's still an opportunity to showcase that. And I thought he did a really good job yesterday doing that. Against a player of that caliber that has taken over football games.
What was the communication like from your perspective when Josh was going into the locker room early to get the X-ray, and then were there any play calling adjustments from your side, knowing that he was dealing with that foot?
Yeah, I think as you guys have learned with Josh Allen, whenever he's ready to go, he's going to run back out on the football field and go. And it happened so quickly, like going before half, right? And so you're just no adjustments to play calls. If Mitch was ready to go, if Mitch had to go, he was going to be good to go. But we knew Josh was going to be ready to rock, and he was good to go.
Sean said he wants to kind of see how this week goes, considers him day to day. What is that process like if it's something that is still lingering, like as you move towards knowing that the playoffs is just right around the corner?
Yeah, I think day to day, Josh Allen's going to do everything he can to get his body ready to go. You don't start as many games as he has on I think he's in probably 130s or something like that, by not taking care of your body and getting your, every week he's taking hits, and it's what makes him him, and so I know he'll do whatever he's got to do to be ready to go.
Sorry, I should have asked. He's a unique quarterback because of how much he runs. Would that change anything for you, knowing that it's specifically a foot injury?
No, I think if we have the mindset, if our guys are out there, they're out there, and we'll be able to execute everything. Shoot, the second play of the half, we did a move the pocket play with him, and so no, it won't impact any play calling.
What's Conor McGovern meant to the group up front? He's kind of deep into his second season as the center now. What have you observed from him?
Yeah, I mean he's kind of like the glue guy of the crew up there. He is as tough as it gets. I feel like every game, it looks after the game like he can't even move. But he doesn't blink, and he's ready to go to practice the next day. He embraces the grittiness and the toughness that it takes to be the offensive lineman. He's an elite communicator. Really does a great job, just communicating to the guys to the left and right of him and making sure Josh and everything we're in the right play call. But it was there was a reason we brought him in here to be our guard a couple years ago, knowing that this transition to center was his natural position and how critical he would be for our football team. And he's been huge for it. And there's so much trust that the guys up front have in him, and our quarterback has in him, and there's so much power in that.
Joe, I think Josh called James the best running back in football after the game. What makes him different than any other backs in the league too?
He can do so many different things, and I think a lot of the things that he does so well, at times people think he can't do that. He's so powerful when he runs, and he doesn't get the credit for the way that he runs because of the size, right? We say, hey, you're a powerful running back if you're 5'10", 225, and you're a speed running back if you're 200 pounds. But when you see him hit the hole in some of those duos, I mean, he packs a punch, and he has such a great understanding of the run schemes and what we're asking him to do now. It's unique to find a ball carrier that can kind of do a little bit of everything, both the zone schemes, the gap schemes, the being able to run through arm tackles and make people miss, and he's playing confidently. And you saw how the first drive of the game, he was making people miss. You go down there in that first half, Jimbo was incredible, and he's been obviously a huge part for our success in the last couple of years. But this year, he's taken to another level, which is so cool, because a lot of times when guys get paid, and he's even risen his level of play, which speaks to who he is.
Brandin Cooks, getting open. Obviously, probably want some of those to connect. How much confidence do you have from what you're seeing behind the scenes that he's going to be impactful as you kind of keep going here?
Yeah, obviously I got to get him the ball more, and he'll be the first to say, the last couple of games he wants those balls back, right? It changes some of the things, and got to get him some of the targets. But outside of, he is as professional as it gets. Learning the playbook, getting on the same page as Josh, just that chemistry and trying to build that. And, at the end of the day, he knows he can catch the ball, but he is doing everything he needs to do in between drills. He's an example that, you hope the rest of the room kind of sees how he goes about his business. But he's been a tremendous get for us both on and off the field. He does a lot even when he doesn't have the ball. And I know sometimes it's a receiver, so it's about the production and the targets. But when he's on the field, there's certain defenses that we get that have opened up some things too, both in the run game and the pass game. And so, there's a reason we brought him here, and we need to continue to get him going, both in the pass game. He's obviously out there in the run game, but we got to get him going in the pass.
Said that Gabe being inactive for the last two is kind of like game plan lineup stuff. Is there anything, like, from your perspective, what does he need to do, or kind of what needs to happen for him to be active again?
Yeah, it's look, I think the biggest thing is each week we go into it, and there's been a lot of moving parts, and but it's not always just an offensive thing. It's a team-wide thing, and there's roster moves, both offense, defense, and special teams impacts it, and so. We had a different five the last couple of weeks, and we might have a different five this week. But we're going to go into each week and decide who we feel is the best five for the makeup of the football team, not necessarily just our offense. And but like I said, the same thing. Keon, Gabe, it's been different people down, but they've learned that they got to be ready to rock. And when their opportunity comes, because all of them, there's opportunities going to come up again this year. But we got the right type of people in that room that, hey, when they're not up, they're ready to go. And but without getting into specifics of what they need to do, just staying ready is the biggest thing.